Hey guys, this is my first attempt at a deck profile on YouTube, so bear with me. There might be some bumps along the road, but I'm going to preview my Scareclaw deck. I just recently took second at our locals, taking on and beating Flunder, Sky Striker, and a Punk Therion, and losing it in my last match to Heroes. So I'll start out with 3 of Scareclaw Rykart. This is basically your searcher for the deck. On normal stretch summon, it searches out a spell or trap. Usually my target is the spell card for the monster of artifact and the protection in the graveyard. Also, if you have 3 or more defense position monsters on the field, when it's special summoned, it allows you to draw a card. So definitely a big gain there. Next, I'll run 3 of Scareclaw Acro. Acro, just like all Scareclaws, they are allowed to special summon to a zone adjacent to another. But his bonus effect, gives the Link monster the ability to gain attack, 300 attack for each defense position monster you control. Next will be Scareclaw Astra. Again, special summon effect, but also he gives the Link monster the ability to attack up to the number of different Scareclaw monsters you control. Next will be Scareclaw Blown. He is the last of the Scareclaw monsters in the deck. He allows your Link monster to deal piercing damage. Next we have Rescue Cat. It is a searcher for the deck, allowing you to get 2 of the Scareclaw monster, level 3 Scareclaw monsters out, kind of as like a starter if you need to. Didn't typically have to use it yesterday, but it is a great extender in later turns if you need it. Next we have 3 Parallel Exceeds. This Parallel Exceed I use mostly as if I have it in my hand when I start plays to get to Baguska, because it makes it, and it's the other one is special summons level 4, so it's an easy play into Baguska. Next we have Valerian Fawn. This is used if you need to. I use it for Naturia Beast. I came up a couple times, especially against Sky Striker and the Punk Therion. It was a big help being able to have Naturia Beast, but that's mainly the only reason you run one of it. I run 1 Psychic Will Editor. It's just another extendable body, since the Link monster only takes 3 effect monsters, so just kind of allows you to have an extra body to go into that if you need to. And then the last of the monsters, I have 3 Ash. Kind of just it's self-explanatory. Next we'll do spells. As for spells, I run 3 of the field card, the Permanent Planet Phrycophobia. Unfortunately, there's not a card out yet that searches this card, but this one is kind of a nasty little card for the deck. It allows you to search out a Scareclaw monster or the Visa Starfrost, which I do not run that one. And then your opponent's monsters lose 100 attack and defense for every card in defense position on the field. And then the big effect for this card that can come into play is if there are 3 or more defense position monsters on the field, you're allowed to just freely pop a card on your turn, which that effect is the big part of it. I only run 2 of Scareclaw Arrival, which is the monster reborn for them, and then which is not once returned, which is freaking broken. And then the other effect is it protects the Link monster from the graveyard, from card destruction or battle destruction once per turn by banishing it from the graveyard. I've originally ran 3, but yesterday decided to run 2. Didn't seem to hinder the deck any or make it any harder to do some of the plays. So, and with Rykart's ability to search it, it kind of gives me the extra space to play other cards. I play a 1 of Called by the Grave to help kind of protect for being hand trapped, and then I play a 1 of Reinforcement of the Army, kind of like the field spell, allows me to go get Rykart, who is a warrior. As for traps, I play 1 Scareclaw Splash. Once returned, this allows you to use 1 of your defense position monsters, and they can attack from that defense position, since as far as the Link goes, it puts all monsters in defense position. Its other effect is, while I control that Link monster, I can negate a card's activation once per turn. So that come up a couple times as well. Next, I run 3 of Infinite Impermanence, just another good hand trap negate card. I run 2 of Dimensional Barrier. Let's say a lot of decks right now, especially with branded being huge, Sword Soul and the Synchros and just different stuff. Then we have a guy locals that will play DDD a lot, which so you can hit the exceeds, but just kind of hits everything but link monsters, which isn't so. Just as a precaution. Next, I play 3 anti-spell. Again, there's a lot of decks that focus on their spell cards and are important to them, so just a way to kind of stop that. And then lastly, for the main deck, I play 2 copies of Crackdown, just as a way to steal a monster from my opponent's turn, on my opponent's, keep them from doing their plays, and it just kind of allows me to have a body on my turn if I get to keep it. Next, we'll go to the extra deck, and we'll start with the big boy himself, Scareclaw Tryhard. He is a very nasty card for the most part. First he must be link summoned, but then when he's on the field, all face-up monsters are changed to defense position, which is a continuous effect for him, so kind of makes where it makes him nasty. He is unaffected by activated effects of monsters who are in defense position. That's key thing there is it's only monsters on the field during defense that don't affect him. So link monsters can affect him, but then also hand traps are very prominent against him, and so are Kaijus. His other effects is once per turn, I can target one of my Scareclaw level 3 Scareclaw monsters in the graveyard, special summon it, and then add another Scareclaw monster from my deck to my hand, which this is the only point in the deck that I get locked into anything, and that once you use that effect, you are locked into Scareclaw monsters for the rest of the turn. So it's usually the last thing you'll do. Next, I run one of number 41, Baguska. Baguska and Tryhard himself are a nasty combo because they both put things in defense position, but Baguska allows you to, or keeps defense position monsters from even activating effects, so it makes your opponent think which one they would rather have to deal with. Usually I feel like Tryhard's the easier one to deal with once Baguska's gone, but just kind of your preference. Next, I run 1 Salamangreat Almirage. This is a way to just I use him as a way to quickly get into the link. If I open up with just, say, Rykart and one other Scareclaw monster, I will normal summon all the others because they all have 0 attack. Special the Rykart allows me to grab the Monster Reborn rival, link off the little one, or the other one, then reborn it back after I linked it off with this, and it gives me an automatic 3 material for the Tryhard. So it's just a way to kind of push into that. And if I happen to be holding a Parallel Exceed, it instantly allows me to have Tryhard and Baguska on the field. Next, I run 1 of Masquerena. It's for later on in the game if I need to, or just as possible have to link into to protect, just a extra level of protection. Never really ran it yesterday, or saw it yesterday, or had to. Next, I run 1 of Christian Vibrax. It can be an easy way of getting to my Valeria Fawn if I need to, if Will Elder's on the field, different stuff like that. Like I said, just like with IP, don't really use it a whole lot. Next, I have 1 of Nightmare Cerberus as possible monster removal on the field. Same as Phoenix with spells and traps. And then next will be 1 of Unicorn, just another possible spin back. To continue, I have 1 of Access Go Talker. There was one point yesterday while I had Tryhard on the field, and with his effects kind of building up, I was able to actually link into Access Code Talker to help against the Sky Strikers to kind of clear their field in a game. I have a 1 of Appaloosa. Just like with Access Code, there's times I have ways to getting up to higher link numbers, and he allows me to have a monster negate, so it's not a bad card to have. Next, I have 1 of Naturia Beast. Like I said earlier, against Sky Striker, this card was amazing. It helped me out against therion as well, just kind of stopping my opponent from being able to play because they were really focusing on needing their spell cards to do anything. So then the last 2 cards in my extra deck are more there for if I ever needed to do it, or just if I can, and but also want them just for fun. First is Navy Dragon Mech. I've never really had to pull it, but being a level 9 synchro, it's not too hard to get to, and it can allow me to have some negates and stuff on the field. And then the last one is just kind of a for fun, in case I ever get to play it or need to play it and stuff. It's Psychic and Punisher. It would take a really odd field or hand to have to play this card, but it's just in there more for fun since I pulled it. But yeah, that's my Scareclaw deck. I said yesterday was the second time I tried to play it at locals. I went 3-1, only losing to heroes. The first time I took it, I was 1-2. So I've made some tweaks after trying the Tri-Brigade build in it. I feel like this is a little bit of a better and more consistent build. But yeah, that's the Scareclaws.